So this is a program for external storage class. Another small issue. What will be the output of the following program? int x is equal to 10 main, int x is equal to 20 printf slash n percent d comma x display. So display is a function. Now display printf slash n percent d comma x. Here x is defined at two places, once outside main and once inside it. When the control reaches the printf in main, which x gets printed. Whenever such a conflict arises, it's a local variable that gets preference. So over global variable. So local variable is first preferred over global variable. Hence printf outputs 20. So here local variable is getting preference. When display is called and control reaches the printf, there is no such conflict. Hence this time the value of global x, that is 10, gets printed. One last thing, a static variable can also be declared outside all the functions. So it can be declared outside the functions also. For all practical purposes, it will be treated as an external variable. So it will be treated as an external variable. This means that the variable would not be available to any function that is defined in a file other than the file in which the variable is defined. Which function to use when? We can make a few ground rules for usage of different storage classes in different programming situations with a view to a. Economize the memory space consumed by variables. So first we have to economize the memory space. Now second P is improve the speed of execution of program. The rules are as under. Use static storage class only if you want the value of a variable to persist between different function calls. Use register storage class for only those variables that are being used very often in a program. Reason is that there are very few CPU registers at our disposal and many of them might be busy doing something else. So many of the CPU registers might be busy doing something else. A typical application of register storage class is loop counters, which get used a number of times in a program. So loop counter is getting used a lot of times in a program. Use external storage class for those variables that are being used by almost all the functions in the program. This would avoid unnecessary passing of these variables as arguments when making a function call. Declaring all the variables as external would amount a lot of wastage of memory space because these variables would remain active throughout the life of a program. If you don't have any of the express needs mentioned above, then use the auto storage class. So we can use also auto storage class. In fact, most of the times we end up using the auto variables because often it so happens that once we have used the variables in a function, we don't mind losing them.